Hey guys, it's Tiffany from TacCon/Rangemaster, and now I get to bring to you guys not one but two of our favorite TacCon trainers, Ashton Ray and Tim Chandler. And I am going to try and contain myself to let them introduce themselves, but I'm just going to tell you right now, I can't wait to hear them talk about this class because it sounds really, really interesting. But that's just a sneak preview. We'll get to that in a moment. First, Tim, why don't we start with you? Tell the TacCon family who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm Tim Chandler. I teach with Ashton with 360 Performance Shooting. I teach with Justified Defensive Concepts. I teach with FVF Training, and that's it. My schedule is full. Okay. I teach with all those folks because I enjoy doing it. I've been at this being a student thing for over 20 years now, and I might have figured a couple things out that maybe could be useful to you folks.
Awesome. So you have tons of free time. Is that what you're telling us? Yeah.
Just an embarrassing abundance of it.
And Ashton, how about you? Who are you and what do you like to do for fun?
I'm Ashton Ray. Don't get into that now, Tim. I'm Ashton Ray. I own 360 Performance Shooting. I also have been known to work with Tim under the FTF banner, supporting John Murphy and his good work. I've been an instructor now for, I don't know, going on 20 years or so, one form or another. I started out as like a club NRA instructor guy and met Todd Green and found out I didn't know squat. And as they say, that was where I started to climb Dirt Mountain. Now I'm a Pennsylvania State law enforcement instructor for handgun, shotgun, patrol rifle, as well as a range master instructor. And my focus is coaching, right? My focus is helping people meet their goals. I'm really not interested in putting up Instagram videos of what I can do because it doesn't matter what I can do. It's what can I help you do? That's my focus. So it's very client focused, very coaching based. I like to watch people's hands when they shoot, and I know it's a strange one. I'm not into feathers or whatever else, but I like to watch people's hands when they shoot and try and help them reach their goals.
I am so not gonna bite on that feathers comment.
Oh, come on.
I'm just gonna keep it rolling. Gonna keep it rolling. But that is because I can one up you. I can do you one better than feathers, and that is red pilled pistol. It sounds so fascinating. So Tim, please tell me. I get the reference. I get exactly where you're going, and it just sounds like a dream come true. Tell me about red pilled pistol and what folks can expect in that class at TacCon.
So in Red Pill Pistol, the entire concept is Ash and I have been at this a little while, and we've figured a few things out. And we really are kind of mad that we can't go back in time and sit our 20 years younger selves down and say, this is how you do this, right? So what we decided to do, and really what we sort of converged on, and we've just been closing on it, is everything we wish we would have known about shooting a pistol 20 years ago. We'll tell you that. And I know what people are thinking, how can you do that in 2 hours? Folks, it's a lot simpler than everybody's making it. I promise you, we give you a couple of prompts, a little bit of coaching, and you'll be as mad as we are. Because it'll be like, why didn't somebody explain it to me this way when I started? That's all we're trying to do in that. You will be amazed at how much better you can perform when you just start looking in the right places.
So Tiff, this sort of, you remember sitting eating barbecue, you and me and some of the other folks that we like to hang around with. We were sitting eating barbecue, and we were paired up together in that class that Tom was doing, and we sat down and I said, Tiff, gripping the gun is not nearly so difficult. And you and I sat down, and about halfway through, I realized there was this looming presence over top of my shoulder watching what I was telling you. And I was like, I wonder how this is going to go. And then when I got done, I looked up and I said, what do you think, boss? He goes, that'd be fine. And then he turned around and walked away. And that's about as big of a compliment as I think I've ever gotten from Tom.
Oh yeah.
So it's this whole idea is really about making things as simple as possible, right? Breaking things down to their essence. Because I've spent the majority of my time since I saw what Todd did. I wanted to grow up and be like Todd, and someday I hope to be as good as Todd was. And Todd was very coaching focused, and so I've basically thrown myself at being a coach. That's where all my efforts, is my instructory development efforts have gone into. So really, most of my classes are, hey, I'm going to put you on a range, and this is an excuse for me to coach you because I really like to do it, and lots of people seem to get better whenever they're coached. So there aren't a ton of guys in the industry that are really good coaches that I know of. There's, it's a very small group of folks that are coaching focused as opposed to doctrine focused, or tactics focused or whatever. Now, I'm not a national champion grandmaster competitive shooter. I am not a 30-year special forces guy. I am not a SWAT team commander or any of that stuff. But I try and take pieces from each of those areas, work them into distill them down into the best practices from each of those communities. And that's where the whole 360 name comes from, is taking from all of the different aspects of shooting and bringing that down to try and tailor it to fit the client individually. It's not a one size fits all. I'm not going to tell you thou shalt put your hands here and here, because your hands and your gun are a specific, unique use case, right? So we're going to work through trying to gain an effect. We're going to work through trying to gain a manner in which you can work in harmony with your hands and your gun. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And for
And
anybody who doesn't believe Ashton when he talks about what a good coach he is, if you knew what he did for a living for his day job, you would understand how attentive to detail he has to be. And I guarantee you, as someone who's been coached by Ashton, that absolutely comes through in his work. And I know that Tim's exactly the same way. Tim, did you want to chime in there and close us out? And before you do, for anybody who's not a fan of 90s sci-fi action films, you have to tell us what the reference is in the name. But go ahead, and also if anything else you want to add about the class before we close out.
sure. One of the things I think that Ashton and I bring to the table that a lot of folks don't is both of us have an extensive amount of time teaching adults technical skills. Ashton, that is his full-time job. He teaches highly technical things to people who have to get a lot of stuff right, or hundreds of thousands of people are in severe danger. I don't have anything quite that sexy, but I do teach people, and I've done it for 20 plus years, teaching technical skills as simply as possible, simplifying things and making it easy for people so they can perform the task they're expected to perform when the time comes, even if there's some stress involved. So that gives us a little bit of an advantage in that we know how people think. We know the pieces that they're missing, because you know what? We're not just the hair club presidents, we're also clients. We've had the same problems and the same issues. And when we finally figured it out and all sort of crystallized for us, we're like, it would have been nice if somebody would have told me exactly that way back there. So that's what we're trying to do. The reference comes from the Matrix. If you've never seen the Matrix, there's a scene where the protagonist, Neo, is offered a choice between life as he has always known it, or taking the blue pill, or taking the red pill and seeing, to quote Morpheus, how deep the rabbit hole actually goes, changing his life, his entire perspective on the entire universe. We might not be able to do quite that on the universe, but I guarantee you we will change how you think about shooting a pistol, because with the right frame of mind, the whole process becomes much, much simpler. When you actually understand what you're doing to the gun that makes the bullet holes go where you don't want them to go, and how to stop that. And guess what, folks? I'll let you in on the first lesson. It's not jerking the trigger. That's crap. That's not what's producing it.
What?
We'll tell you what's
That's not
producing
my problem, but
it.
everyone
I know
says
all
that.
coaching has come down to focus on the front sight and stop jerking the trigger. No, we can help you. We can save you from that bad coaching and get you hitting what you want to hit, and understanding when you don't, why you didn't, and how to fix it.
Awesome. So,
So
folks,
real quick, the
yeah,
most important part, in my opinion, to this whole adult learning model is making things as simple as possible.
Yep.
I'll let the cat out of the bag. Yes, I train people to run nuclear reactors. That's my full-time job now. I was an operator. I was Homer Simpson or Homer Simpson's boss for 20 some years, but now I'm a full-time trainer in the training department at my utility. The key is making it simple, right? The key to all this is simplification. And one of the things that I see often is people try and make things complicated so that I don't know what their motivation is. I could speculate, but I'm not going to. But there are lots of people out there trying to make this process complicated and use lots of big words for it. I try and break everything down into farmer talk. Well, just because that's how I talk. But it also turns out that making something simple or make something complicated simple is the real way to understand it and the real way to work through the process in solving the problem you want to solve. That's my opinion.
excellent. It sounds so exciting. So, folks, if that wasn't enough to make you want to take this class with Tim and Ashton, then you at least have to grant that their class has the coolest title of all the classes at TacCon. So, you get the prize for that for sure. Guys, I'm really excited to see this is the inaugural offering of Red Pill Pistol, and I think it's going to be amazing. Folks, if you want to train with Ashton and Tim, don't miss it. Their live fire block is going to be offered at TacCon in Dallas, and guys, I cannot wait to see you there. Thanks so much.
Looking forward to it.
All right, I managed to stop myself